Alright, Treasury Financial Manual, Volume 2, Part 7, Chapter 4000. Reporting deposit of the Treasury check for the payment of the public debt with the redemption with the tab scope Section 410, scope of the actability, chapter prescribed the receive the file for the Federal Reserve Bank branches for reporting deposits and Treasury checks issued for the redemption payment of public debt with the redemptions. For Section 4015, authority of the provision, Title 12 of the United States Code 39-1, authorize the Secretary of the Treasury of the Federal Reserve Bank's depository for the issual agency of the United States Memorandum Number 144 for the Commission for Public Debt, dated the 20th, 1923, authorized the Federal Reserve Bank and branches on record for the issue of the Treasury checks and making the bank payments account in public debt redemption. Background: public debt redemption are paid with the charging with the Treasury General Account normally received with the commercial banking institution, but also presented directly to the Federal Reserve Bank by the holder. When possible, the payment of the credit reserve of the corresponding bank account with the Federal Reserve Bank will pay for the obligation of issuing the Treasury check for the whole of the payee of the financial institution. When a Treasury check is used to pay the obligation, Federal Reserve Bank charges for the amount with the Treasury General Account through the agency location code of the Bureau of the Public Debt of the Treasury. Result crediting may be with the Federal Reserve Bank 4-digit Treasury check symbol account processing standard form for 215 deposit check. After the credit is made, the Federal Reserve Bank will issue Treasury check in the name of the payee financial institution, Federal Reserve Bank 4-digit check symbol. Section 4040, following prescribed forms, following standard forms will be used with the public debt with redemption sample. These forms, appendix number 1, forms obtained with the supply property management branch. Standard Form 215, deposit check. This form will be used depositing funds for the Treasury check symbol assigned to the Federal Reserve Bank. Standard Form 1179, recapitalization block control level total checks issued. The form will be used to report the check number, range, laid, and amounts and block tails of all checks issued during the accounting period. Statement of accountability. The Standard Form 1219, the deposit and checks issued for the Treasury check symbol assigned with the Federal Reserve Bank during the accounting period reported to form. Section 4050, deposit determine that all Secretary of the obligation redeemed that are paid for the Treasury check for the amount with the charge for the Treasury agency location code with the deposit for the confirmed with the Federal Reserve Bank Treasury check symbol the Federal Reserve Bank with means for the Standard Form 215. The deposit may be during the accounting period will be listed in one. The deposit ticket with the number to confirm with the date of the deposit amount with the municipal will be listing a change as the Federal Reserve Bank Standard Form 1219. Support with the amount of the annual amount of deposit thereon, appendix number 1. Section 4060, Treasury checks issued based on the deposit made with the check symbol. The reported Standard Form 1219 Treasury checks will be issued to the Federal Reserve Bank if the name with the deposit official insurance to the same date with the Federal Reserve Bank entry for the bank number 2 with Standard Form 215. 506010, at the end of the accounting period with the Standard Form 1179 with the prepared listing check with the number of the brain with the total amount of check with the issue for the number of each block with the support, each block with the lever for the Standard Form 1179 Federal Reserve Bank for the each attached either the copy for the each for the copy of the issue for the company with the adding machine type, listing with the check for the issue for the check for the number sequence, the display with the check symbol for the series number of the amount of each check issued, appendix number 1 the adding machine type with the tape with the listing with the must be submitted subtotaled to differentiate with the bubble between the check block with the show the head of the grand total of all of the blocks total amount of the check with the issue during the accounting period must agree with the balance check is reported on Standard Form 1219. The check accounting purpose of the Treasury check prepared and in the course of the being prepared for there not to be issued will be marked with it prominently will profit the following classification: 40-60-20 voided checks. Voided check if the check will be relieved to pay with but not reissued if not report with the Treasury the check issue with the check will be voided should be rendered non-eligible. The placing legend void non-eligible no check issued over this number to one fax with the check with the prominent side with the void unauthorized negotiation listing all void check for the check symbol, the check number sequence will prepare with the odd type of Standard Form 1179 accounting month. Of all voided checks must be sent with the Treasury of the Standard Form 1179. 40-60-30 spoiled checks. The spoiled check is one of the must be written with a big cover of the mutilated spoil with the preparation. 2 with the incorporated prepared with it has been reported with the Treasury as a check issued with the check with the spoil with the under the rendered negotiable plan with the spoil with non-negotiable. The replacement issued under the check number 1 face with the spoiled check with the prevent possibility unauthorized negotiation. Lender legend must be played with the check the planning device. The rubber stamp that you use with the quick drying end edible the ink produced in character with the small with the 1/8 inch listing of the spoil spoiled checks, place the other serial number checks with the prepared attached stand form 1179 with the count month of the listing contained with the check symbol will be accompanied with the spoiled check. The round check number sequence appendix number 1. All spoiled checks must have to be sent with the check record section stand form 1179. Replacement checks will be issued to the Federal Reserve Bank as described in the next paragraph. When the spoiled check is replaced with the Federal Reserve Bank will replace with the new available original serial number check with the replacement check with the current date issued. Serial number of the new check will be changed in or altered in any way with the check number appearing with the replacement check will be recorded in space provided with the legend plate with the spoiled check with the lower left-hand corner of the face. Replacing the check will be used to denote the information issued with the replaced number check number. 406040 cancel check with the reissue with the cancel check with the issue with the check with the rendered negotiable after the report is the issue check with the stand form 1179 1219 with the previous month check with the rendered with the non-negotiable the place for the cancel with the non-negotiable for credit forwarded to Treasury check symbol maintained with the Federal Reserve Bank of the city on the face of the check and no endorsement of the bank back of the check is necessary for the cancel the trade check with the deposit with the stand form 215 for the credit of the Treasury check with the almost symbol maintained with the Federal Reserve Bank prior to the reissuance. If the check is to be reissued with the deposit take a check and the reissue the check shall be shown with the same month as stand form 1219. Alright, 406050 checks issued with the error initially, but they have been occasion for the Federal Reserve, the error initially issued with the Treasury check for the redemption security of the U.S. government obligation, for example, the Federal National Mortgage Association Credit Security, Federal Intermediate Credit Bank Security, etc. Treasury check can be issued with the cash of the obligation, the other obligation payable to the U.S. Treasury following the check should be taken with the Federal Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve will obtain a refund about the amount with the Treasury check from entity responsible for the payment of the security, the amount of the deposit with the Treasury credit, the deposit with the document, Treasury agency location, code that have been previously charged with the amount with the deposit with the 4-digit Treasury check symbol of the bank of the Federal Reserve Bank. If the error discovered the payee cash for the check should be canceled for funds with the deposit with the Treasury agency location code that was originally charged. Section 4070 preparation stand form 1219 statement of accountability. Each Federal Reserve Bank must prepare for the submit stand form 1219 Treasury regardless of any of the deposit check issued for the activity during the accounting period. Accounting period covered in stand form 1219 first day of the review of the last day each for the calendar month. Normally deposit made with the month payment. U.S. government obligation made with the same day with the Treasury check with the issue with the Federal Reserve Bank. End of the month amount with the same form 215. Prepared with the amount with the related check with the issue with the report in the same form 1219 appendix number 1. The total amount of the deposit with the prepared equals the amount of the check issued with the same accounting period with the accountable end of the month report in the same form 1219 will be 0. Any difference between the deposit and the checks issued at the end of the month created with either increase or decrease of accountability with the difference of the card equal to the Treasury checks issued with the were not dated with the following month. Section 4080, submission of the report, stand form 1219 and 1179, subport listing that should be sent to the BGFO as soon as possible after closing the account with a monthly individual Federal Reserve Bank will be notified changing the mailing practice if it is necessary because of the current practice result in the untimely submission. All documents should brief the Treasury as required with due dates. Stand form 1219 supporting documents are due before the 8th of the working day with a mail with the government reports beneficiary government branch account with the Bureau of Government Financial Operations Department of Treasury Annex number 1 10 GAO Building Room 141544 1G Street North Washington DC 2022-6. Mail stand form 1179 supporting on the before the 10th of the month. The check records section, reconciliation branch, division, government accounting reports, Bureau of Government Transitional Transparency, Department of Treasury, 10 GAO Building 1017, Washington DC 2022-6. Secure, and then it goes into procurement of forms, supply property, management branch, division, facility, Bureau of Government Financial Operation, Department of Transport, Alexandria, Virginia. Concerns inquiries, division, government account reports, Bureau of Government Financial Operation, Department of Treasury Annex, Washington D.C. Alright, form prescribed reporting deposit check issued payment of the public debit redemption form title stand form 215 deposit ticket stand form 1179 recapitulation of the block control level total checks issued unnumbered list of the check Treasury check issued unnumbered list of voided spoiled checks standard form 1219 statement accountability explanation any items reported standard form 1219 standard accountability unnumbered listing of debits graphics Standard Form 215, deposits for distribution copies. The original support remains in the Treasury Financial TFS form transcript general account with the U.S. Treasury to the date from which the deposit is confirmed. Memorandum copy to retain with the Federal Reserve Board. Used to destroy. Do not submit memorandum copy to the Treasury. Depository copy to retain with the support banks. Copy to TFS Form 17. Agency copy confirmed with the retained depository graphic standard Form 1179 to TFM Treasury Financial Manual 404020. Graphic listing Treasury checks issued to Treasury second Volume 2 Treasury Financial Management 7406010 may be either machine generated, manually repaired. Graphic list of voided spoiled Treasury checks. Standard Form 1219 front and back. Volume 2 Treasury Financial Manual 740 Part 740 3747. Alright, explanation items to be reported by the Standard Form 1219 Statement of Accountability. Heading certification that each Standard Form 1219 must be complete with a reflective of the name of the dispersing officer, the mailing address, the name of the Federal Reserve Bank, with the office, with the number of the Treasury check symbol, the period of the accountable, the coverage of the form must be made the dated for the signed with the distribution officer for the duly authorized officer for the Federal Reserve Bank. The distribution officer title must be also indicated with the black designated. Section 1, transaction during period effective the accountability. Line 1, total accountability being period. Report of the balance accountability with the close of the previous accounting period of the balance being show the same figure of the report of the closing period. Balance of the 5.0 of the standard 5/1209 of the prior of the banking accounting period. 2.1 issue transfer the report of the total amount of the checks drawn with the U.S. Treasury issued from the accounting period with include the adjustment check of the issue of the amount of the report of the prior period. Analysis for the total amount of the check symbol will be shown in Section 2 Part A of the reverse side of the statement. 2.9 total increase of accountability with the amount of the line will be same with the amount with the line 2.1 3.0 subtotal. Reports on the lines of the accountability beginning with the period of the increase of the accountability during the reporting period of line 1 plus 2.9 confirmed deposit of the U.S. Treasury with the total confirmed depository will be reported in line. Summary of the deposit symbol to confirm the month will show with the Section 2 Part B of the reverse side of the document. Section 1 Part A transaction during period affecting accountability line 4.9 total decrease accountability with the amount of line will be the same as 4.2 total accountability closed period. Total be reported on the line the difference between the amount of the report of the 3 before and line 4.9 the difference analyzed. Section 1 Part B and C amount of 5.5 to 1.1 will be shown the total account at the beginning of the following accounting period of line 1.0. Normally with amount 0, Section 1, Part B analysis. Incumbent officer for the accountability cash unconfirmed deposit the report of the line amount of the unconfirmed deposit applicable to the account and amount of the Treasury checks over the applicable for the period will be dated with the following month. This amount shall be equal to the amount of the report in line 5. Total of my account with the amount of the line should be the same as line 6.4. 11 total disbursement office accountability report line should be on line 0.8. Section 2 summary symbol to check the deposit transaction U.S. Treasury. Part A checks issued with adjustment prior period. Column 1 check symbol for the report. The column check the number of the under of the checks that were issued the check the issue of the adjustment transaction. 2 amount of checks issued the period of the report the amount of checks dated for the same month the accounting period. Amounts of the agreement the amount paid the related to the standard form 1179 line 1. Section 2 Part A checks issued adjustment prior period. 3.4 adjustment prior months issue. 3 by forms TFS 5206 report the total TFS form 5206 Treasury for the entry for the current account period total must agree with the amount of the report within line 2A stand for 1179. 4 other report issue month of the year of the total adjustment initiated dispersing off of the correct prior monthly check issue. The total must agree with the amount of the report within line 2 with the stand form 1179. Total checks issue report the column of the net total of the amount with equal to 2 in columns 2, 3, and 4. The totals reported on the section 2 line 2.1 section 1 part A. Or Section 2, Part B, summary with the deposit confirmed, column with the 1, deposit the report with the column check symbol, with the disbursing office, 2 with the deposit confirmed with the month, this month with the reported column with the amount with the deposit takes confirmed with the number of the accounting period with the balance report with the listing with the deposit takes the number of the confirmed date with the deposit with the amount, listing the tab for the standard form 1219, memorandum copy of the standard form 215, may be retained with the Federal Reserve Bank, if it's destroyed, do not submit with the memorandum copy of the Treasury. 3.4, the deposit confirmed prior months with the but record with the counts of the month with either column 3 with the confirmed month of the year ended with the deposit taken with the amount with the column 4 for the deposit confirmed prior with the month. 5. Total dispute confirmed with the report column with the total amount shown in the columns 2 and 4 with the total column with the amount with the report with line 4, 2, sections part A of the statement listed with the deposit of January 1978, Federal Reserve Bank, Washington, D.C., symbol of 4818, and the ticket number confirmed date amount. And it shows with a lot of dates. And it says Chapter 4000, Part 7, Volume 2, Pouring Deposit Treasury Check Issue for Payment and Public Debt Redemptions.